This rumor has been around for a while, and it's one that has caused some ire for fans of the Pirates of the Caribbean Disney franchise. It is that they plan on doing a total reboot of the swashbuckling adventures, but without Johnny Depp or Captain Jack Sparrow. Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute, going for a ride down the Hi everyone, welcome to the StudioJake vidcast where I talk about all things pop culture. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and if you're watching on YouTube, ring that little bell so you get notifications when I post a new vidcast and consider becoming a channel member. Ever since accusations from his ex-wife Amber Heard have plagued Johnny Depp in both his career and in his personal life, and it is especially true of the franchise that arguably made him a huge household name, and that is the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. That's not to say he didn't do stellar stuff before, but he did become huge among several generations for his portrayal of Captain Jack Sparrow. And like I noted before, his lawsuits with his ex-wife, Amber Heard, have kind of stalled them. Now, yes, I know Johnny Depp, he's not the greatest guy. He does illicit substances. He made that very crude comment about actors and presidents, shall we say, and he is not always stable. But he is a fantastic actor, and there is no question that he did amazing as Captain Jack Sparrow. So for this rumor that he is no longer going to be in those films to recirculate, that is a little bit cause for concern, especially for fans of the franchise. This is piratesandprincesses.net reporting. The internet is reacting to a new rumor from World of Real that indicates a new Pirates of the Caribbean film will start shooting in 2025 without Johnny Depp. Well, this isn't surprising. Fans' reaction to this news has not been good. Does this mean Johnny Depp is not returning as Captain Jack Sparrow in a Pirates of the Caribbean film? Currently, no. If the report is true, the film would be the reboot with an all-new cast and no Captain Jack, who, of course, is played by Johnny Depp. But what about the plans for the two films? There have been no plans to do two Pirates of the Caribbean films for a while now. One was meant to be a reboot with a new cast, and the other was a female-centric film that was originally to star Margot Robbie. While it looked like the Margot Robbie one could be canceled, Barbie came out, and now Disney is likely to want to move forward. As Pirates and Princesses notes, nothing about this news is really new. It seems that it is all stemming from an interview Jerry Bruckheimer did back in May where he indicated that Depp would not be returning. It's a reboot, but if it was up to me, he would be in it. I love him. He's a good friend. He's an amazing artist, and he's a unique look. He created Captain Jack. That was not on the page. That was him, a little Pepe Le Pew, and Keith Richards. That was his interpretation of Jack Sparrow. Bruckheimer also confirmed that the Robbie movie would likely also be released, saying, "It's two different movies. We hope to get them both made." And I think Disney agrees they really want to make the Margot one too. The only new element of this rumor seems to be that filming is starting next year. And then they have the original post where this rumor came from, and then they have audience reactions, and I'll read a few of them. Slots LV says there's no Pirates of the Caribbean without Johnny Depp. Mr. Fundamentals says hard pass, can't have a Pirate of the Caribbean movie without Captain Jack Sparrow. Brett says, I love Pirates of the Caribbean, but it's not the same without Depp. Massive, horrendous L on Disney's end. Pirates and Princesses continues. Again, not much about this rumor is new, and it aligns with what Bruckheimer said back in May 2024. But the internet didn't like it then, and they still don't like it now. So I want you to go to piratesandprincesses.net and read the rest of the article for yourself, and also check out several of their other articles. I know that they would really appreciate the clicks. Okay, so here are my 3 reactions to this rumor. The first. For those of you listening on audio, I just stared blankly at the screen for a few seconds. But in all honesty, that's my expression. If they are doing a Pirates of the Caribbean movie that does not feature Captain Jack Sparrow or Johnny Depp portraying him, I'm just simply not interested. I am so tired of these woke reboots, these woke remakes, these woke side stories where the main cool character gets replaced by an empowered woman who's usually a lesbian or a person of color, and they are just a jerk, or they're rude or flippant or self-righteous, and I'm tired of it. I'm not going to watch a Pirates of the Caribbean movie where that happens, whether it be played by Margot Robbie, who's not one of my favorite actresses, but she's decent, or even one of my favorite actresses like Sandra Bullock or Elizabeth Olsen, Gina Carano or Gal Gadot. Even if it's one of them, I would probably not be interested in this movie at all because it doesn't make sense to have a flagship franchise without its flagship character. So, no, I'm not interested in that. So that's my first point about this is it's a lack of interest. Number 2 reaction is once again Hollywood is misinterpreting what made a thing so popular. And again, nothing against Margot Robbie personally. I think she's a fine actress. She's not a very good Harley Quinn, but I have seen her in other movies and I think she's decent. There's nothing wrong with her acting skills, but it wasn't Margot Robbie who made Barbie popular. It was the brand of Barbie and the army of women, their nieces, their own daughters, their mothers, and in some cases, their grandmothers taking full busloads of them and sometimes dragging their husbands, sons, nephews, uncles, dads along with them to watch the movie. It had nothing to do with Margot Robbie. And if Disney wants to try to bring in a Pirates of the Caribbean film with Margot Robbie, they're going to be grossly disappointed. And again, I'm not attacking Margot Robbie as an actress, but she just doesn't have the brand power. And even if she was an actress that had brand power behind her, like I said, like Gina Carano, who has Star Wars behind her, like Gal Gadot, who has Wonder Woman behind her, like Elizabeth Olsen, who has the MCU behind her, it wouldn't even make a difference there because they're not learning any lessons from the past. My third reaction. Disney is desperate here. This is a desperate ploy that you're going to put 2 Pirates of the Caribbean movies into production because even though people didn't respond to the sequels in that franchise as much as they did The Curse of the Black Pearl, for example, they still did pretty good at the box office. Even the ones after sort of the Davy Jones Locker trilogy, right? Those movies still did well. But again, it was because of Johnny Depp bringing his star power, bringing his talent to the role of Jack Sparrow. So if Disney was very desperate about getting a blockbuster onto people's tablets or into their cinemas, then they have got to bring Johnny Depp back. But they are so desperate to do 2 things: to have a blockbuster hit, because so far, Inside Out 2, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 seems to be their biggest hits lately, and that's embarrassing for them. So they need to bring in something. Oh, I forgot Deadpool and Wolverine. Okay, and Deadpool and Wolverine. So they're wanting to bring something back to nostalgia bait fans. But here's the thing: fans are kind of over nostalgia bait. We just want to see a good, solid movie. And if they are so desperate, then why aren't they just bringing back Johnny Depp? Pay him what he wants. They certainly have deep pockets since they take money from BlackRock and Vanguard. So why not just bring him back? Because they're also desperate not to offend anyone. Because there are a whole bunch of trolls on the internet that sided with Amber Heard very bizarrely over Johnny Depp, despite the mountains of evidence that she was a bad faith actor in that relationship. I have to be careful what I say on YouTube here. Needless to say, in that circumstance, Depp was in the right, Heard was in the wrong in that particular circumstance. But they still don't want to offend all her little trolls. They don't want to get bad write-ups in Variety and The Hollywood Reporter or TMZ, all of these media outlets who sided with her because they think that is bad. So they're desperate on 2 fronts, but one can't reconcile with the other. They need to just bring Johnny Depp back. They need just to put him back in the fold, let him be Jack Sparrow, because I guarantee you all of the Hollywood Reporter write-ups won't solve this issue for them. Here is my plea to Disney. Disney, if you are going to do this, don't just nostalgia bait us. Bring back Captain Jack Sparrow. Bring back Johnny Depp to play him. Bring back Jerry Bruckheimer to produce it. And hire a very competent, talented director. If you want to put Margot Robbie in there with Johnny Depp just so you can get the few tickets from Barbie that you think matter, fine. But you cannot have a Pirates of the Caribbean movie without Jack Sparrow. And listen, Maybe they could try to do it with just Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley. That certainly might work, but if anything, I think people will see right through that. They desperately need to bring Captain Jack Sparrow back if they want to make any money in the future on this franchise. If you liked that video, be sure to give it a like, share it out to all your friends, leave me a comment and tell me what you think, and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, ring that little bell so you get notifications when I post a new vidcast, and consider becoming a channel member. You can also support me on my locals community. The link is in the description. It's kind of like a Patreon and a Discord combined, where you can chat with me, you can leave me tips on articles that I write, or you can become a monthly member. You can also check out my books. They're all available on Amazon. Go pick one up, or actually all of them up, and leave me a 5-star review. It really helps out small indie creators like myself. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time right here on Studio Jake.
'Cause I've been living life right like I